recorded.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, we're back. Technical issues.
Yay.
Yep.
Where were we? What were we talking about?
Well, I was going into a thing about how both companies saw the shrinking console market, or the general prevailing feel was that the console market was shrinking because of the rise of mobile. And one company decided we're just going to bring mobile gamers and PC gamers to us by getting the people who are developing successful games on those platforms to bring them to our platform. And so this is just going to be, core gamer platform. And then the other platform holder was like, oh, console market is shrinking. We need to appeal to non-gaming people. So we're going to make this device that is like the center of your living room. And everything that you do in your living room now, you can do it on our device. And it'll be awesome. And then it wasn't awesome.
It was not. It's quite the opposite, actually.
Yes. It's that's weird. It's like, wow, it's neat. It's sort of like Titanfall and Destiny. Both of them are sort of, I think, reactions to the same thing. They both saw, it's like, people don't really spend a lot of time in our single player. So we're just not going to spend as much time on single player, and we're going to make like this really awesome multiplayer experience. But people still like stories, so we'll give them a little bit of context, but it's mostly about multiplayer and just shooting stuff. And then that's what they did. Like Titanfall is just a multiplayer shooter, and sort of like little bits of story in the multiplayer part, and it's just sort of weird. And then Destiny is like, they went big. It's like, yeah, we're going big and shooting, so it's like our epic world, but only little bits of story in there because people don't really care.
Meanwhile, Dragon Age Inquisition comes out, and all I hear is whispers of, dude, it's awesome. Dude, take it.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Well, it is only $40 still. So, I mean,
So good.
Ugh. Ah.
you could get it.
I think after I finish Shadow of Mordor, after this podcast, PSN, I'll be seeing you in the store, and or PSN store, I will be visiting you, and I will be doing some things, and yeah, purchasing games.
Sounds dirty.
Yeah, it's neat. I guess the last things. Well, I don't know if we want to end on this, but The Witcher was delayed to May
No!
after they said, like, when they announced the February date, they said, "Yep, we're done with delays. This is it." And now they're like, "Yeah, we were too hasty in saying that."
Now I have to buy my mom a birthday gift.
Yay.
No!
Actually, Elder Scrolls Online was also delayed again for PS4 and Xbox One, so who
Oh, yeah.
knows what's up with that game.
Till next year. I mean, I haven't really heard much about it since it launched on PC. The last I heard was sort of, it was like, it's okay. And then I saw it at PAX, and they were showing some sort of arena battle mode or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, whatever.
Maybe it goes free to play?
I am totally okay with game delays these days. There's been too much.
Dude, after this year, I'm on board, Tropical. It's like, just delay the effing game. Don't release a effing buggy, effing not working, effing mess.
Make it good, because, it's not like I have to have your game right this instant. I have too much other stuff to play.
Oh no, I have to have it. I have to have it.
You'll get it eventually. I'd rather
Give
have
me
it in a working
all of the
state than a
games.
crash and burn launch.
Maybe.
It's like you'd think after The Sims, and I'm sorry, not The Sims, EA or SimCity, you'd think after that, and what was the other terrible launch?
Diablo had a rough launch
Diablo,
like that.
yes, Diablo 3. Jeez, that you'd think someone would learn. We should just delay it.
Those two were, well, SimCity, yeah, actually, it was kind of different. Like, Diablo couldn't handle it, and SimCity was like just not. It's still broken today. Like, you can play the game, but it's really, really hard. It's like, why are people leaving? they're telling me that they're happy and yet they're leaving. Why is this apartment building that's right next to this other place that people can go to find work? And this one says there's no people living here, and this one says, or one was like, we need jobs, and then the next one next to it is like, we need workers. And it's like, you guys are right next door.
It makes too much sense, Tropical. You can't do that.
Yeah, I think this holiday season has been particularly bad as far as sort of broken games. Like Drive
Dude,
Club came out and didn't really work. Assassin's Creed Unity
Assassin's
was like,
Creed and Halo Master Chief Collection are like the two worst offenders.
yeah,
It's like
Master
if
Chief
your matchmaking is
Collection.
not working, and that game when it came out was known for having awesome matchmaking, and then people get it and they can't even play it. The like one part they want to play, there's a problem there.
Yep. But like beyond that, like Little Big Planet even has some issues. Um, the crew apparently has issues that I didn't see, but I didn't really play too much multiplayer.
It's so weird that like
Just,
next year, I'll be
man,
like, well,
just
on paper,
everything.
next year is like an awesome year if like nobody f's anything up. It's like, dude, after this year and like the setbacks that we've had, after Gamergate, after the delays, after the bugs, can we please get our stuff together for 2015 so it can be the end of the video game like we've been saying. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, everyone should switch the model now. Well, okay, so as a publisher, what you need to do is you need to sign on lots of little guys, and that way you have your steady money throughout the year, and so you don't have to depend on the holiday rush to buy your giant game at the end of the year, which means you have to ship at the end of the year, which means maybe you don't have enough time, and then you end up with these kind of messes. Um, yeah, I guess that's the side that matters. Like, that's what they need to do. Because as consumers, it's like, we don't, like, it doesn't matter too much to me that your game is coming out later because, one, hopefully that means it's going to work. And two, like, there's just too much stuff to play all the time now. That is the drawback of bringing indies to your consoles. Like, every week is new releases, and there are lots of them, and it's all throughout the year now. And indie games tend to be built for replayability, so yeah, there is never a shortage of stuff to play.
And I'm kind of worrisome because, you know, Watch Dogs was not bad, but not as awesome as hyped. Assassin's Creed was effing broken. There's no other way to say it. So yeah, thanks. The crew will see, but Far Cry 4 is awesome. So but you know, 3 out of 4 or 1 out of 4.
Yeah, one out of four.
That's not a
good.
winning percentage. So you know,
That is a bad percent.
the Division, I'm kind of worried now. So it's like, ugh, just keep delaying it. You got delayed. It's like just keep delaying it. You know, until it's not as bad as 3 of the 4 games I just named. Keep delaying it, please. Thank you.
Have you played Watch Dogs?
No.
Oh, I should share play it with you. You should just try it. Then you'll be able to say for certain whether you think it's bad or
I'm waiting
just
for
like
it to
meh.
go on sale for $20 like Infamous, and I'll be happy.
Oh, okay.
And I'll be like, all right, it did the Infamous and went on sale for 20, and I bought it. So just do that Ubisoft too. $20 sale on PSN flash sale. Any publisher, actually, all of them across the board, just do that, and Tekken will buy your games.
Yeah, just give away your games, guys. Just give away your
Just,
games.
if you want to sell some games, just PSN flash sale, just $20 that week. I will be there with my money to buy them.
It's powerful.
That is.
And then, Konami, just follow their suit. There's a game that you have in your back catalog, and you want to put it on the PSN store for PS1 Classic for me to play. So you go and do that too. Just saying. Saga Frontier, Saga Frontier, where you at? Saga Frontier 1 and 2. Yeah, just do that. Square Enix, even though,
I was about to say, that's
we all
not
know you
good.
don't care right now, but, it can
They,
happen.
Square Enix has a lot of stuff on their plate right now. Just let them focus on one
Dude.
game at a time.
Porting a PS1 game, probably not that hard, just saying.
With them, it probably is.
I
They-
mean, unless they
they
just
have-
want to price it. I mean, just like the
they can't
PS, there's like
multitask.
Final Fantasy 7 PC edition to PS4. I mean, I'll buy that too if you just want to do like a half-assed job at like porting a game to a platform already own, and then like charge me more for it.
Wait,
sure.
so you have the PC version, right?
Yeah, I haven't played it.
Have you? Oh, you haven't played it. Okay.
Why are you
Backlog,
gonna?
tropical.
I want to know like what the enhancements are. Is it widescreen?
There's like something that like helps you level faster or something. I don't know. Whatever. I'm gonna platinum trophy that one though, so it's like whatever. Like that's a
Yeah.
goal for me.
I
I
guess.
mean, all the trophies and be like, yeah, streaming it every day and be like, yeah, Road to Platinum, Horizon 7. First
Or
Class
you could just
Soldier,
buy something.
yeah.
There's that. Just buy something else. Because
Yep.
as a matter of fact, they have another Final Fantasy game that's coming out. That's actually a new game. That
But we
isn't.
don't know when it's coming out, so it's like I can
a
get
f-
excited, and it's them, so you
No,
Talking
never
Type
know
about
when.
Type Zero
Zero.
comes
Oh, I
out.
thought you meant
And the
15. Yeah, Type 0 I'm getting,
15's
but
never coming out. I've already made my peace with that. So it's just like,
Type 0, yeah. Isn't that co-op in it?
the P the PSP version did, but I
Oh,
think they removed it for
ah,
the remaster.
that's too bad.
That would have been, well, I mean, I guess it somewhat makes sense. 'Cause, I mean, with the story elements with the Final Fantasy game, though, it's like, I don't know if I want people all up in there while I'm all into my story and doing stuff. So I'm like, oh no, I don't know. Depends. Maybe as long as the AI is fine, it's good. I don't know.
Is there anything to mention from the Game Awards that happened?
The Game Awards happened.
Did you watch it, RPG?
Nope, because I forgot they happened. So I
Did you
not.
watch it, Tekken?
I went on YouTube and watched the world premieres. I did not watch the show.
Oh, okay. The show was okay, actually. It like tonally, it was. There were parts that were really like how I feel about games. So it started off with Koji Kondo, the guy who composed the Mario theme and like the recent Zelda games and the recent Mario games, and just like he is the Nintendo composer, and he's playing Mario on a grand piano.
Hmm.
And they had parts like the Banner Saga. They had Austin Wintory, the composer of Journey, conducting this live choir there, and a vocalist and like a violinist, and they were doing the Banner Saga theme, I guess, or like one of the tracks from there. And they announced Banner Saga 2, in front behind that, and I was like, that, those they were very like, that's how I see games these days. It's sort of a high art almost. What was that? Oh, the like the founders of Sierra were there. Ken and Roberta Williams, I think. Like they made King's Quest and stuff way back in the day, and they were honored for like lifetime achievement, and they've been retired for like 20 years. And I was like, wow, that's really. And apparently they're sort of they're private, and so it was a big deal that they were on stage at this thing. And so they're like really sort of classy parts. But then there was like really weird parts too. Like Jeff Keighley gave out awards. Like he wasn't on the main stage. He was sort of on the side, sort of like what he always does. Like he was acting like a part of the press covering this award show, but
Well, I mean,
this is his award show that he produced.
well,
And
he
so it
is
was
still
like,
part of the press, though. I mean,
but like that's not his role there. It feels like it was just really strange. Like he gave out some awards there. Like they did some full sort of Academy Award style awards. It was like, oh, the nominees for this category are, and then they showed like video of those things, and they had like Tim Schafer was one of the people who gave awards, and yeah, it was like not sort of celebrities up there pretending to care about games. It was like game. Like faces in the industry that are all familiar with.
well, I mean,
giving out
technically,
these awards.
they are celebrities, just a different.
Yeah, but it was
type.
like different. It's like these people, they're like relevant celebrities. But then there were other awards where like Jeff Keighley was just on the side, like, oh yeah, these are the guys from Bungie, and hey, just so you know, you won the award for best original soundtrack. So here you go, and he just like gave them one of the awards like right there. And it's like, that is weird.
Although
like
I think
how,
they do that in normal award shows, though, when they just like do like it's like, oh, also tonight this person
Yeah,
won
it could
this
be a
and this
time
and this.
thing.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, but they give those awards at a small ceremony thing. It's like at a different place. Like the technical awards is a different thing that's not televised, but it's still like this award thing. Whereas this was just sort of like, oh, by the way, you won this thing. Here you go. So it was really strange. And then the other like very off-putting part was I guess the way they do world premiere trailers, it felt weird. You know, part of it was like, oh yeah, we're doing this sort of, we're honoring these people who make the games that we like, and like honoring all this stuff, and like celebrating the game industry, and yet we're also running these trailers that are very clearly marketing. It's just like, oh, available now, pre-order now. It's like, that feels strange, you know. I think you should just cut all that stuff off of those trailers, and because nobody, like, we don't, that's not what you want to see at this thing.
Mm.
But yeah, other than that, like, some of the, it was much, like, way better than the VGAs and VGX and all that stuff from the past.
Interesting.
So lots of work to be done, but yeah, not too shabby.
There's always next year.
Yes, there's always next year.
Did you happen?
And then,
oh, go ahead.
sorry. Well, there's also like there were weird awards. I think another thing about award shows is that like the Academy Awards is sort of, well, you know, after years and years of watching it, we sort of understand the type of movies that are going to win Academy Awards. It's like, oh, it's the, you know, sort of really artsy type movies and stuff like that, and
Or if it has
like
Meryl
the
Streep in it.
drama. And so, you know, we sort of understand it, but for Game Awards, I think it's still very early, and you know, gamers no longer really trust reviewers. So I think as part of any award show that wants to do games, like, they're gonna have to do a better job of, one, like justifying the winners, but two, also like justifying why we should care about a certain category. Like, why is this category for an award important to recognize? Because for this one, they had a few categories. Like, one was a trending gamer, and it was just like YouTube celebrities.
The
YouTube
hell?
gamer celebrities, and like Total Biscuit was the winner of that. I was like, why? I have no idea.
Who the hell is Total Biscuit?
He's some guy who does game related YouTube videos. I don't know. I've never seen anything by him. And like, he had a very classy like thank you speech that was pre-recorded because he couldn't be there, because I guess he has cancer right now.
Oh, well, that's great. So then, basically,
But yeah, it was very nice. And then, but yeah, like the award category is sort of strange. It's like, why should we care about this? And there was another one, like the esports player of the year, and it was some guy I've never heard of, and he's a Call of Duty player. It's like, why did he win? It's like, why wasn't it someone from League of Legends, which is like the biggest esport out there, or like StarCraft, which is like way bigger than like Call of Duty, and all the shooter esports are really tiny compared to those. Makes no sense.
interesting.
Lots of work to be done, but it could be pretty good. This could be actually a thing.
I will still just watch, or not watch. I will still just, you know, be happy for the world premieres. That's where I stand. RPG. I was gonna say, did you read the thing about the story mode for Evolved and how it's actually like a campaign now or something?
I did. I was actually going to mention that
Really?
before, because they
I hope
apparently
they
announced
add
like a bunch
matchmaking.
of.
If they add matchmaking, then I might get it. But it's like, you know, until then, I can just.
They mentioned that not only are they adding, well, they mentioned that they're adding like another group of characters in addition to, they were going to be like the last characters you unlock or something. So I think there's like a total of 12 or so at this point. And then they said there's several different modes that aren't just like hunt the monster kind of thing. It's like there's one where the monster has to protect a nest and you can like hatch eggs or something that can work as like little mini minions. And then they have like an actual campaign mode and all this other stuff going on. So apparently there's a lot more going on than just the initial, just, you know, four people go up against the one monster kind of thing. So it's not just that.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it than that.
So I don't know.
Hmm.
I might be interested in it. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't
Kinda
pre-ordered
cool.
it, so
Also, that game has been in development for like 4 years. Because I saw an interview on Game
Yeah.
Killers, and they're like, "Well, when we first started this game 4 years ago, I was like, dude, this game has had a lot of time in the oven." So
although
They were
they didn't
they were
announce
with
it,
THQ.
did they?
Yeah, they were with THQ
Hmm.
when they were working on this, and then THQ disappeared, and now it's who are they with now? 2K? Yeah, 2K.
yeah,
Oh, but they didn't announce it 4 years ago though, so
No.
it's like they were at least smart
yeah. It's
about
like there's
it.
that rumor that like Left 4 Dead sequel or whatever, or a new Left 4 Dead game
Yeah.
from Turtle Beach, but then like nothing ever came about it, and then it's like after the THQ thing, it's like, oh, they are working on something.
Hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Exciting.
It's like Left 4 Dead 2. Yeah, love that game.
I don't know. I don't know. Doesn't it come out on like February or something?
Maybe.
Because I think it's an early release,
Yeah, it's
and
one
I'm
of those
like,
ones that got delayed to like early 2015.
something like I don't know.
I'll look it up.
I don't know if I can buy you game. I don't know if I can buy you. There's too much for me to
Too
buy.
many.
So I don't know. And I mean, because then it's like it's gonna be one of those situations where even if I did get it, it's gonna get.
Yeah, it comes out February 10th.
The perfect plan.
Yeah. So that's the news I can think of.
And if you're wondering, Dragon Age Inquisition won Game of the Year at the Game Awards. So,
Oh, did it?
Yes,
if you
it
care.
Interesting. Well, who was it up against? Who were they up against?
Oh, stuff.
Uh,
Ah,
Bayonetta 2.
really?
Wow. Why can't I think of any of the other ones?
Then that explains why they won. Because the other
Oh, Shadow of Mordor was in there.
was The Last of Us in there.
No.
Because I mean, it did get remastered.
Well, I remember thinking, like, after they said Dragon Age 1, I was like, it's weird because, well, it reminded me of, like, Shakespeare. It was like, because Dragon Age is the last game that came out,
It is.
and, like, in Caesar, it's like the people follow whoever they heard last.
Yeah, because I was just about to say it's like because that's why I asked you who they were up against because I was curious as to how early or late the other games in the category.
Yeah, like everything else was in the fall too, but it was just like Dragon Age was the last one. I was like, maybe.
I don't know. Like I said, I've played the first two and didn't like them, so I don't know. I'm just
Okay,
iffy.
I found a list of the nominees. It was Bayonetta 2, Dark Souls 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, Hearthstone, and Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor.
Hearthstone.
That's what I
What?
said.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
Hearthstone was in there.
That is That is an interesting
Yeah, like some of the categories, I don't know if they make sense anymore. Like they had best mobile game, and Hearthstone was in there also. I was like,
And I feel
I
like
mean, it is on a mobile platform, but the thing about games these days, you can put anything on a mobile platform.
You really
Like
can.
Nvidia Stream, your entire PC library is on a mobile platform.
and it's like technically since you can remote play with the Vita, anything on the PS4 can be mobile.
yeah,
too.
it's like what is the criteria that we're going for here? That's the thing. Like justifying why the categories matter.
Mm. But Hearthstone, that is that is
I
interesting.
guess it's
See, I mean,
good.
I give them credit for like throwing in wild cards like that, but it's like it seems like it's so random. Like it almost seems like they just put it in there just for the sake of like shock factor. Because I mean, like, what if it would have won? I would what the hell? So,
Hearthstone.
that is kind of funny. Because I also feel like Bayonetta 2 is kind of thrown in there as just to give the Wii U something, but I feel like they probably had better games on the console this year that weren't Bayonetta. Because I mean, Nintendo usually has a pretty strong first party. So, I'm pretty sure they released a bunch of first party games this year, didn't they?
Yeah,
Maybe not.
they had like the best.
More like
year.
Mario Kart.
Not the best, but they had like a really good year this year because like none of their stuff got
Yeah.
delayed. So
Well, like the best part about Nintendo this year is that they showed us they had a future. That's what Microsoft needs to do now. But Nintendo, they did it because that's always the worry with Nintendo. It's like, yeah, you showed us all these third-party people supporting Wii U, and then they just all dried up. It's just gone. So, what's in your future? And then they showed us like basically playable everything that's coming in their future from first party. It's like, that's a lot of games. And yeah, so you guys do have a future. That's why I bought it.
they're like, we're gonna Splatoon all over your face. That's what we're gonna do, Tropical.
Gross. But
Oh man, the trailer for that, the newest trailer for that one where it's like you have the squids attacking the whatever. It's like, yeah, that's so Japan. That's just I kind of just buy that game just because the ridiculousness of it. It's like
that's kind of like that's like the appeal of Nintendo, though. It's like they are okay with like doing stuff like that. So and it's like, okay, I can get behind this.
Awesome.
So I don't know. Although I am glad Dark Souls 2 at least got a mention in there, because usually when they do like Game of the Year awards, it's all just the same thing. It's like Call of Duty, whatever Ubisoft released that period, and then it's like the same stuff over and over again. So I'm like, but still Hearthstone. That's like, I can't get over that. Like, what? That is fantastic.
I don't think League of Legends has ever won an award like that. And despite it, it's still, it's like the biggest game.
It's like really popular. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, again, you need to justify game awards because people don't, trust anyone's judgment in games. Yeah, not too much. Not too much significant came out of the VG, what do they call now? The Game Awards, TGA. Even world premiere wise, it wasn't super exciting. Was it? Yeah.
I watched them and I was like,
because I mean, a
They're
lot
all
of their
super
quote
short,
unquote
though.
world premieres are things that we kind of knew were
Yeah.
a thing.
Like,
so
PlayStation Experience was much more exciting.
yeah. And then, No Man's Sky is still question mark. Looks the same. I have no idea.
Looks awesome. The tech sounds awesome. The soundtrack sounds awesome. How's it play?
they're so hush hush on. Yeah, I'm just saying they're so hush hush on stuff like that. So it's like
Nobody knows.
like just tell me these things.
It was funny because watching No Man's Sky, I started thinking, it's like, wow, next year, if I didn't have to do other things, I could basically live in virtual worlds for an entire year. I would live in No Man's Sky, and then when I wanted some action, I would live in Destiny. And there was other games that I remember seeing. It's like, whoa, that's another game that they want you to live in it. I was like, would I ever need to come out?
No. Say goodbye to the outside world.
They used to be like, live in our world, live in your world, play in ours. Was that the PlayStation thing?
Yeah.
I think so, because I was actually about
Yeah.
to mention that.
This would be like, live in our world, occasionally eat in yours.
Yeah,
Because that and sleep are the only thing you can't do.
that is true. Until they find a sleep simulator. It's like, haha, now we've cornered the market. So,
It activates your beta waves, and you fall asleep in game and in real life. So next week, I think, maybe the last episode of the year.
you're welcome.
It was fun. We launched ABZ this year. Did we?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think
That's
so.
cool.
After all those shenanigans that were going on with
it's-
our delayed
It like
filler and whatnot.
got stabilized and then destabilized and stabilized and then destabilized, and and I think that is likely to continue. But it's okay. It's okay. Next year, though, I do think it's going to be pretty exciting with Tekken and RPG getting tons of new games.
So much share buttoning.
I don't know what I'm going to be doing, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, my schedule is changing now, too. That's why I say it's likely to keep fluctuating here at ABZ.
Yay, fluctuation.
Oh, something you said earlier.
Oh.
Tekken said he was gonna do something next year. Play a
the
bunch
more
of
indie
indies. That's
games,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. I was actually thinking of. So I've done the casual thing. It was not that great.
What's up
Next
to that?
year, I'm thinking of trying to follow esports, like just to see, because like football and stuff, like, well, it's Wisconsin, so it's sort of inescapable. It's like Texas, like everyone is connected to football in Texas.
Or has a gun.
So it's sort of easy to follow here. I was like, how does one follow esports? And so I'm gonna try and experiment with that next year. As I get to know the leagues, the players, and StarCraft I already play. League of Legends I kind of understand now, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Is League of Legends like free to play or is that?
Yeah, it's free to play.
Free to play, but not fun to play. Ah, ha, ha. That's my new one.
I haven't played it, so I don't know.
There are lots of way less fun to play free to play games than League of Legends.
I'm curious.
Did you hear like Facebook also awarded a Game of the Year? Oh yeah, so Apple awarded Monument Valley and Threes Game of the Year. And game critics this year were like, wow, cool. They actually awarded really good games. And then Facebook awarded, and the name is not even worth mentioning. It's basically a Candy Crush clone. And they awarded that Game of the Year.
Huh.
And they justified it. You know, they start talking about some of the qualities
Oh
of the game.
man,
But in
I
the
just
end,
have a
the
question for
clincher,
question time next week. Oh dudes, yes. I need to write it down with my pen.
but in
Writing it
the end, the
down.
clincher for that game was that millions and millions of people played it. So it didn't matter what the game was as long as it had the user numbers. And that was their Game of the Year.
Weird.
Someone should really define what Game of the Year means.
Tribe to Call. See, that is the thing about Game of the Year. It depends on the person. So it's like not one person
Yeah.
can be a whatever over it.
But so every person needs to define it before they announce a Game of the Year, because it makes no sense. Like Game of the Year in my mind feels like it should be sort of the most representative of the
A
best
category
that
thing?
happened in the year of games.
Well, the only issue with that is it's like it's kind of subjective though, because I mean,
Well, like first of all, you would have to identify what you thought happened in games that year, and then you would have to find a game that most represented that.
Hmm.
So that like the subjective part is what you think happened in games. Because once you have that, then objectively you can choose one that best
Oh, chapter
represents
Cole, we're
it.
almost getting into my question for next week, but I'll go ahead and save it. I'll save it. I'll save it.
All right. So yeah, people like game of the year. Like most people just think of it as it was the best game of the year. But I don't know. Like, shouldn't that just be best game?
Chapter Cole. Seriously.
No.
What is that? What is it? I'm gonna save it for next year. I'm next week. Next week. I'm saving it for next week. I'm just gonna save it for next week. I'm just gonna save it for next
Oh,
week. I'm just gonna save it all
dear.
for next week.
I love that there's a category for best remaster now because they've been remastering so much stuff. That is great.
They really want to award a game they've probably already awarded at some point.
Yeah, I think because that's what it seems like. It's like that's the only reason why that would ever need
Yeah.
a category.
They're just like, we want to award The Last of Us, but we shouldn't because it's just a remaster. It's like, we'll make a category for it.
Like, because we can't give it Game of the Year since it didn't technically come out this year, but we can give it Best Remaster, so it's kind of the same thing. So,
Anyway, so yeah, question. We'll have a question next week. That's cool. In the meantime, check us out, aimlesspodcast.com. Also on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch here. You can also follow Tekken and RPG Maniac 05, Tekken Master and RPG Maniac 05 on Twitch. Because
Although
that
he
that
streams
is
a lot
going
more
to be
than I
happening
do.
next year probably. And then Twitter, Facebook, subscribe on iTunes and stuff like that.
People will finally be able to see me play Dark Souls. It's happening, guys. It's happening. So,
Dark Souls 2.
although there's also Bloodborne. So, either way, you'll get to see violence. You're welcome in advance.
Alrighty, so yeah. Until next week. More Destiny for me and some other stuff. The other two, who knows? Find out on the next episode of Aimless Babble Z.